Hello, friends. Hope you're having a great day. I recently helped a client deploy their own GeoIP lookup service and wanted to show you how to do it too. It's easy. We can get this set up in a matter of minutes with just one open source library, and we'll use AWS Lambda for serverless hosting. What we're trying to do in this video is build our own version of free geoip.live. We want an API that allows developers to do a geographic location lookup given an IP address. Here's an example from my IP address. We can see that we're getting back city level, zip code level, and general latitude and longitude information. And free geoip.live is a great service, so if it works for you with this generous quota, absolutely recommend it. There's also IP Stack, which provides even richer data and more granular latitude and longitude information. Still, some organizations are going to choose to host their own GeoIP service. Maybe they have strict service level objectives they're trying to meet around availability and performance, or maybe they have security, compliance, and privacy requirements. geoip-lite is a lightweight Node.js module that exactly meets our requirements. Let's dive in and get it deployed. Starting with an empty directory, let's ask npm to create a default package.json file for us, and then use npm to install our geoip-lite library. Let's cheat a little bit and start with the demo code from the web page. We'll copy it into a test.js file and use Node to execute it. And hey, we're getting GeoIP lookups for that hard-coded IP. Now this data comes from MaxMind, and when we look at the licensing for geoip-lite 2 database, they want us to include this little snippet of credit for them. And as good net citizens, let's make sure we do that here. We'll just tack on an attribution field here and confirm that it shows up. So how do we get this into production? We're going to use the Serverless Framework to deploy our function to AWS Lambda. Assuming you have your AWS keys and Serverless CLI installed, just type the serverless command. We'll say yes to create a new project, pick Node.js runtime, and name it GeoIP. For now, we won't enable the serverless hosted dashboard. Serverless creates a project subdirectory for us with a handler.js and serverless.yml config file. The handler just takes an event object, processes it, and returns a JSON object with the response. The serverless YML file has a lot of comments, but very little essential config, including where we define our function. We can use serverless invoke local -f function name to make sure our boilerplate function at least works. Cool. Now let's update our handler function to import the already working geolocation code we have. Put the functional code inside the function, and make sure to return our geo object. Let's go ahead and rename our hello world function to geoip. And because we've done that, we'll need to quickly edit the serverless.yml file to change the name hello to geoip. Once again, we can use serverless invoke local -f with our new function name and can see that it's returning geoip lookup results. All right, now we need to install the serverless layers plugin for the serverless framework. This step ensures all of our dependencies like the geoip-lite library are available to our AWS Lambda function. We'll also want to create a private S3 bucket to store our serverless framework metadata. This config is required by the serverless layers plugin. Let's grab that bucket name and do a little config inside of our serverless.yml config file. We'll enable the serverless layers plugin, configure it, and the key here is that it will inspect our package.json file and manage all our dependencies as AWS layers for us. We'll let serverless know about our custom deployment bucket. Finally, we'll enable an HTTP endpoint to trigger our serverless function. Now we're all set to deploy our serverless function to the Amazon Lambda cloud. Note I'm using the SLS shorthand instead of typing serverless out in my console. Oops, I forgot to include the package.json file with our dependencies in this subdirectory. Let's copy it over real quick, run npm install, and try again. We'll run serverless deploy one more time, and it looks like it's going well. For your benefit, I fast-forwarded through the checking stack create progress section that takes about 2 to 3 minutes in my experience. And when it's done, we have an endpoint we can test. Looks great, but of course we're still getting the results from the hard-coded IP address. We really want to pass in an IP address to be resolved by the service. We're not there yet, so let's edit the handler.js file to see what the heck is inside of that event object. We can just return it as part of our results for development purposes. We'll use SLS deploy again, this time specifying -f in our function name to save a little bit of deployment time. Let's run our curl request one more time, and as expected, the results contain the event object that was handed by AWS Lambda to our serverless function. If we dig through the result, we can see that the event object contains query string parameters, and inside that, the arguments that were passed on the query string, like the IP address we want to resolve. Let's update the handler.js file to replace the hard-coded IP with the dynamic variable passed through the query string. Now we can do one last serverless deploy to see our results. Oh wait, I forgot to remove the debugging output where we dump the event to the results. Let's do that real quick and deploy again. With the deploy finished, let's hit the API one last time with our curl query. And we're getting the results we expected, Frisco, Colorado for my IP address. For production use, you'll want to set up TLS and a custom domain name for your API gateway. Thanks for joining me today. If this was useful, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter @NedMcLean. Take care, friends.